Hi there, this is part 2 of our prefix pre, which means before of our new lesson when we're introducing that. And again, this is part 2. At school in your writing book, you know we have this where you can write the words, but since you're probably watching this at home and you don't have that book, you can just get a piece of paper. Remember, you can pause the video to give yourself time to write it and then start the video back up. All right, so if you predict the weather, then you will know what the weather, or you're saying what the weather is going to be ahead of time. So our word is predict. The prefix is pre. How do you spell pre? P-R-E. Go ahead and write that. And then our second syllable is dict. Count your sounds. D, I, K, T. And then say and write. Say each sound as you write it. So say P, write that. Or I'm sorry, D, write that. I, write that. K, write that. T, write that. And so that this video won't be too long, I'm only going to do that again on the next one, and then it'll be up to you to count your sounds and then say and write. All right, our next word is pre-mix. Sometimes if you're making a cake from scratch, you've got to add the flour and the baking powder, baking soda, sugar, but you can buy a box mix at the store and it will already be mixed up, or it's a pre-mix. So our word is pre-mix. What's the first syllable or our prefix? P-R-E. So go ahead and write that. And then our base word is mix. Count your sounds and then say and write. You can pause the video here if you need to, or rewind if it goes too far and you haven't got your word written. All right, many of you have probably used this hamburger organizer when you are pre-plan your writing. Our word is pre-plan. What's our prefix? Pre. Go ahead and write that. Our base word is plan. Count your sounds and say and write. Sometimes when you go to the grocery store, you don't have to buy a whole watermelon. You can buy it pre-cut. Pre-cut. What's our prefix? Pre. Go ahead and write that. What's our base word? Cut. Go ahead and count your sounds and then say and write. So oftentimes when we're buying clothes, the people who make them shrink the fabric before they cut it out and make it into the clothing that we wear, so that it doesn't shrink after we buy it. And so this fabric, we will say they are going to pre-shrink it. So what's our prefix? Pre. What's the base word? Shrink. Go ahead and count your sounds and say and write. Sometimes your teacher will give you a test before they teach you something, so they know what you already know and don't teach that again. So this word is pre-test. What's our prefix? Pre. Go ahead and write that. What's our base word? Test. Count your sounds and say and write. If you wear a helmet, it may prevent a head injury. So our word is prevent. What's our prefix? Pre. Go ahead and write that. And our second syllable is vent. Count your sounds and say and write. All right, and so the only other thing you need to do is to say and write. P-R-E says pre. It means before, and the key word is preheat. Do it a second time. P-R-E says pre, and it means before. And our base word, our keyword is preheat. And we'll write it one more time. Pre says pre, it means before, and our keyword is preheat. All right, and then your connected text you have, and general spelling and sentence writing is a review. So that concludes our the new portion of the lesson for the prefix pre.